Welcome to Inside Games, the only gaming channel brave enough to say that we and Richard Lewis were right about Counter-Strike 2.
That's right. It's a full 2, not a Counter-Strike : Global Offensive Source 2 beta like a lot of people really insisted in the comments. I don't know, but you know what, Bruce? Being right has never looked so good. Look at the smoke, man!
The smoke cloud can be pushed and carved by bullets and grenades.
Valve has clearly been watching those ASMR videos on TikTok because Counter-Strike 2 is real, and the smoke grenades are more oddly pleasing than ever.
Grows to fill spaces naturally.
There's just gonna be a video clip of like somebody crushing one of those paper roses in the upper right the entire time you're playing. I'll be watching a hallway for a minute, and then I'll just look to the side and see that crumple, and that's it. But it's a red letter day. Valve Software officially announced a new game. It's got a bigger number on the end and everything. It looks really good, and the early word is that it's modernized in all the best ways. Counter-Strike 2 is real. It's coming very soon. Right now, in fact, for some folks.
Yeah, that's right. I've been watching a few streamers play it. If that's you, if you're playing it at home, you should have a notification in the main menu of CSGO, which, by the way, I have been installing and checking in because I was like, maybe Valve screwed up and gave me access. They didn't. But if you don't have that notification, you'll just have to settle for the details of the Counter-Strike 2 limited test, which you're probably watching on Twitch, and we're going to get to in a second.
Yeah, first, let's talk about Counter-Strike 2. What's it all about? Valve's announcement capped off weeks of rumors and speculation that this time, for the first time ever, actually turned out to be true. Weird.
Yeah, super weird. The game is coming this summer, and Valve said it will be, quote, the largest technical leap forward in Counter-Strike's history. They also said there will be, quote, an overhaul to every system, every piece of content, and every part of the Counter-Strike experience.
As that implies, there's going to be an overhaul for Counter-Strike's classic maps, which is kind of an odd subject, kind of like Counter-Strike in general. These maps in this game has been played for, at this point, over 2 decades, with most players agreeing that they're damn near perfect for competitive play.
You are right, Lawrence. DE Dust 2 is perfect.
It is.
Yeah, no, it's a great map. So, how does Valve modernize or improve on perfection?
Well, Valve said these maps will be cleaner, brighter, and better, thanks to upgrades and overhauls which leverage all of the new Source 2 tools and rendering features.
Valve elaborated, saying that classic maps will have improvements to lighting and character read, but otherwise they really haven't changed.
Yeah, Counter-Strike 2 is also moving to what Valve calls a tickless system, or it works on sub-ticks. I love that shit. I don't know. We have sub-pixels and now we have sub-ticks. It's awesome. So essentially, in Counter-Strike 2, the game server will track the exact time that all actions take place, rather than evaluating the game on discrete time intervals or ticks.
Valve calls these sub-tick updates the heart of the new game. They said that, quote, as a result, regardless of tick rate, your moving and shooting will be equally responsive and your grenades will always land the same way.
And most important of all, and this is what I just can't get enough of, dynamic smoke grenades. These are the smoke grenades you get from Whole Foods, and they cost twice as much as regular smoke grenades for some reason.
The new bougie smoke grenades now create, quote, volumetric 3D objects that live in the world. Now all players see the same smoke, but it can also interact with the environment
To fill spaces naturally.
meaning that it reacts to lighting and will grow to fill spaces naturally.
Naturally.
And then, you know, like kind of like seeping out of open windows, expanding in long corridors. I always thought this was hilarious. I was seeing all the announcements from Valve about Counter-Strike 2, and every one of those announcements said, first up, smoke grenades, first up, smoke grenades, and keep talking about smoke grenades over and over. It's like, man, these are great.
Yeah, I guess it's the only real mechanical change to the game apart from the tick rates changing. But yeah, it stands to change a lot. And it looks really cool. And yeah, it kind of grows to fill spaces and wraps around things. And it looks the same from every perceivable angle too, which is a bit different from smoke grenades in Counter-Strike. And what's even cooler, and this is the real ASMR, the shape of the smoke cloud can be altered by bullets and grenades. So yeah, like bullets open up little holes in the smoke that close in. Grenades can clear it, so now HEs have a whole new use. And if you thought smoke grenades going off would get the ASMR kids frothing, man, you haven't seen anything yet.
The smoke cloud can be pushed and carved by bullets and grenades.
Actually, they even added the sloshy bottles from Half-Life Alyx. Oh, those are great.
Reactive gravity slosh. It's the best. So now the Molotovs actually like splash when you carry them around. And
So much fun. Oh, yeah.
more improvements. You can see your feet now. You got legs.
Whoa, what?
Yeah, so we got the foot fetishists and the ASMR crinklies. Maybe this game really is for weirdos after all.
Or it sounds like you, Lawrence.
Oh,
Sounds
it
like
might
you're
just be
excited
me.
about it.
Yeah, I think it's just me. Guns and feet.
Speaking of visual delights that activate weird parts of our brains, what about the vast underground skins market that was built up around Counter-Strike?
Yeah, Counter-Strike Global Offensive kind of operates on its weird CD betting layer. And we had a lot of kind of very intricate questions about how Valve might manage this transition. Well, it turns out they're doing the most work and satisfying the most people, which is pretty cool of Valve, I guess. Valve said you can bring your entire CSGO inventory with you into Counter-Strike 2.
Not only will you keep every item you've collected over the years, but they'll all benefit from Source 2 lighting and materials.
That's awesome. My open question here is, what happens now? Does every discrete item have a CSGO and CS2 version? Or are there going to be CS2 only items that don't work in CSGO? I guess we'll see, but I guess what it looks like is every item will have two versions that appear in their relative games.
I wonder if eventually they'll sunset Counter-Strike Go and then go to Counter-Strike 2, kind of like what Overwatch did.
I don't think Valve would do that. There are people who are going to play Go until it's dead, kind of like there are people still playing 1.6. So I think Valve knows that they can't just shut them out. And if the inventory items carry over, it's still an active market, so there's still value there to keep it operating. Yeah, it'll be interesting to see how they operate these markets going forward, for sure.
Yeah, no, that's true. Yeah. So as we predicted last week, this seems to have had ripple effects in Counter-Strike's secondary market. PC Gamer's Rich Stanton observed a general rise in trade prices for some gun skins since Counter-Strike 2 rumors started circulating, with some doubling in price as soon as the announcement went out.
Yeah, so if you bought your skins when we told you to, you should be rolling in those Gabe bucks by now. Valve also said that upgrading the game's engine to Source 2 will make it way easier for community map makers to build, experiment, and iterate.
They also said the engine's lighting and particle systems give, quote, an all-new look and behavior for water, explosions, fire, smoke, muzzle flashes, bullet tracers, impact effects, and more.
Yeah, to show off the new game, Valve also did a limited playtest among select professional players, streamers, and a handful of very long-term players. For the most part, from what we see on social media, now that the embargoes are up, everyone was really, really impressed.
Yes, they were. Pro player Twists tweeted that after playing Counter-Strike 2 last night for some hours, the game feels really smooth. They managed to make CS2 even more satisfying than CSGO. Graphically, the game is far more advanced and is pleasing to look at.
In simple, the best player ever in Counter-Strike Global Offensive was stunned at how great the smoke grenades look.
Check this out.
Wow, what the fuck?
So these are volumetric smokes now.
But did you actually try this?
Yeah, I swear to God.
No, I don't believe it.
I can show you, man.
Oh, fuck this.
Counter-Strike streamer Flom, clearly a foot guy. I think we know that about him.
We have legs, okay? You fucking get in the game, you look down, and they're right there, dude. You're like, holy shit, I have legs!
Yeah, no, it takes one to know one, basically. Overall, the consensus we could see among everyone that played the game is that Valve really did the impossible here. They managed to find and address the few aspects of Counter-Strike Global Offensive that could be improved, and they left the rest of the game intact.
Now, about that technical test we talked about. The current technical test only includes deathmatch and unranked competitive on one map, the greatest of all time, DE Dust 2.
The only one you need. I got a soft spot in my heart for Office, but Dust 2 is just the gold standard. But like we said, if you got an invite, you'll have a notification in Global Offensive's main menu. Valve posted in an FAQ that they sent out invites based on a, quote, number of factors deemed important by the Counter-Strike 2 development team, like recent playtime on Valve servers, trust factor, and Steam account setting.
Or, said another way, if you didn't get an invite, maybe you've been a naughty little gamer.
There's a cost to monstering those chats too hard. Your social rank goes down and you don't get early games. And Valve kind of reinforced that attitude in an FAQ where they say that VAC bans in Global Offensive will also get you banned in CS2. Competitive cooldowns are shared across both games as well, so you can't just bail on a match in one and click over to the other and keep playing.
Of course, yeah, of course.
So that's pretty cool. Kind of a unified punishment system, I guess.
So my question to the audience, I kind of know Lawrence's answer, but I'm still going to ask. But I'm going to ask the audience too. I don't understand why the audience is okay with the NFT system in Counter-Strike Global Offensive. Even though they're not NFTs, they are only digital items in this marketplace, which we have proven, we've shown and reported on that this marketplace has lots of weird, seedy underbelly to it. So why is everybody okay with it? I don't understand. Lawrence, what do you think?
Because they're resigned, I guess. It's already happened. It's happened. It's there. It's operating. What are you going to do, I guess? Yell at Valve until they shut it down? I guess all we really have to do is just wait until regulation sweeps through, and maybe they find it, maybe they don't. I just think it's become the status quo. That's kind of what happens. Is Valve got there early? They set up the standard and the way it works. The good news, I know that let me say it like this. I'm not a fan of NFTs. I don't like NFT hustle bros. I think crypto bullshit is dumb. The technology itself, though, and the premise that it offers, this is it. This is the absolute visitation of what was being brought up. But I think it's also an example of why it doesn't work too well. Like it works in this situation because Valve is running both games. But in the idea that you can like buy an NFT that shows up in Mario and then it also shows up in Halo, like that would require both teams working on something that they don't equally benefit from, and that just kind of doesn't work out. So anyway, this is the dream made real, but this is probably where it ends, I guess, is that the Valve software umbrella will have activity within it because it's a whole ecosystem. But yeah, I don't really see a whole lot of independent companies striking deals to make little digital hats appear across games or something like that. Anyway, it's cool to see it work here. And it's cool that Valve has chosen to make their inventory system cross both games. I wonder how long that will last.
Well, I mean, I think they just took a page from Overwatch. That's what Overwatch did. They were just like, here's all our skins in Overwatch 1, and they all go to Overwatch 2. They obviously don't have that marketplace that Valve does and has had for years. But I appreciate that because they're just like, oh, yeah, well, bang, here it is. There they are. So thank you, Valve. Thank you, Blizzard, for doing that. Because we spend a lot of money on those skins, or we spend a lot of money on those knife skins or whatever. So now we can have them in both games. There is still money to be made on Valve's side for these skins. So when there isn't in Counter-Strike Go, that's when they'll probably get rid of it and be like, okay, now it's all Counter-Strike 2. So we'll see.
Yeah, the difference there with Blizzard is that they're not still operating and supporting Overwatch 1.
That's what I mean. That's why I'm waiting for Valve. I'm waiting for Valve to shut down CSGO kind of quietly. Like it's not going to be like Blizzard did, but they're just like, Overwatch 1's gone. I think they're going to wait a few years until people move to Counter-Strike 2 and then get rid of it. But we'll see.
Yeah, I can just imagine it must be annoying to make two versions of the same hat or shirt or gun skin.
Oh, absolutely.
Or maybe it's the same asset that just can get imported into both engines and it just inherits a bunch of upgrades by being in Source 2. I don't know. That's all in Valve's backend, but it is interesting to see games splinter off like this. Yeah.
Yeah, really. Hey, we've got some Patreon patrons that just made thousands on Counter-Strike skins, and that's why they're paying for our Patreon now. Scott Strifes. That's a joke. They didn't actually do that. Scott Strifes, Zach DeHack, Jonathan Lanowski, Mason Hoover, and Kyle Abbott. They could be billionaires.
They could be, but my patrons are not, unfortunately. They got rinsed. Skins, all gone. Hacked. AK-47s, gone. They're all gone. Someone help get them back, please. Gabe, if you can hear this, they need your help. Brown Sugar, Dylan Hiley, Regulus, Spirit Bear, and Aaron Frace. Please think of them. Please think of them now.